Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Coping with Life. I am your host, Scott. And on today's episode of Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill, I'm going to talk about none other than Final Fantasy XVI. Talk about a game for my mental health, right? Now, I like Final Fantasy, and being a depressed panda and going through a lot of things that I've been going through, it's Saturday. We're going to talk about Final Fantasy XVI. So a few disclaimers. There may or may not be spoilers. Probably there is. Just heads up. We're going to talk. And a few things. Just a heads up. Have I beat the game? No. I have not. Which is new for me. Because it's been out for a couple days. And I have a tendency to beat games, especially new Final Fantasy games, pretty quickly. I've taken my time. I've tried to do everything possible. And I'm not playing it all the time. I have a feeling that I am near the end of the game, but I'm going to just talk about Final Fantasy XVI, and things that I like, things that I don't like, and just nerd out about Final Fantasy XVI. That's what this week's episode is going to be about. Very excited. And there is a demo out for Final Fantasy XVI. If you have a PS5, you can play the demo. Now the demo is roughly the first 2 hours of the game. So just a heads up, the demo of the game is basically the first 2 hours of the game. And that's important because you can import your completed demo save to the main game. Which I did. I really like. I am somebody who doesn't like doing the intros many times. And that is exactly what I did. I played the demo, beat the demo, and go through the story. So the demo, or the beginning of the game, it basically starts off with, somewhat present time, and it is alluded that your name is Wyvern, and then you're just basically following, on-screen prompts. So before I continue with this, there's the one thing that I want to mention that I think is amazing. So I have a few things I toggled while playing, and a lot of people may not understand why, but it helps me. So I'm disabled, mentally ill. I have a lot of issues. But one of the things that I suffer from is audio sensory. And I suffer from hearing a lot of things, and a lot of things are heightened. And in Final Fantasy XVI, there is a visual alert. And so there is a red, blue, and green. And so if somebody's talking and somebody else is talking, so there's a lot of on-screen cues. It's waveform. And so I know, like, if the sound effects, or stuff going on, I'm privy to it and not, going crazy, like, oh, hearing things that may or may not be important. It's really hard to explain, but it really does help me. I made it a little bit more translucent so it's not super jarring. But to me, I mean, 100% is so much better. And it makes my enjoyment of the game so much better. And it's on the side of the screen, and like if it's super loud, I can tell that it's super loud. And it's really hard to explain, but that visual alert really does help me, and it does discern, different people talking. And so if I close my eyes, sometimes I don't know if it's one person or the other. That's so much better. I'm not doing it justice. But I have it toggled. And it's super valuable to me and my needs. Anyway, then it basically tosses you to the past. And you find out that you're a guy named Clive. And the demo is just a hoot. The entire game is fantastic. There's a few side quests that, so there is 2 side quests. They're basically in the same area and it's deep in the game. I don't know how deep in the game, but it's deep in the game. But it was at that point, in a span of, 20 minutes, it was at that point where I went, this is my favorite character of the game. And that's Clive. Clive immediately became my favorite character of the game. And getting to that point, he was okay. And I'm going to be honest, my favorite character is BENADIKTA. Now, there is a challenge after you beat the demo, called the Iconic Challenge, which was fun. But the main game, so much fun. But my favorite character is Benedikta. She is a dominant. Now, if you don't know what that means, in Final Fantasy XVI, icons, or summons, they have a wielder. They are dominants. They channel the power of Aether. And Benedikta's, Garuda. And Benadikta Harmon, she is my favorite character. Yeah. So I have somebody that I chat with at night, and from the last time that I am aware, I'm still ahead of this person. But they were asking questions, and I'm like, I know nothing. And they're like, what do you know? I was like, Benedikta. That's all that I know. All that I know, and I want more. Which, honestly, you know, that type of character, I'm not really into. There's just something about Benedikta that I enjoy. Now, a few things about Final Fantasy XVI. It ain't your daddy's Final Fantasy, that's for sure. Now, I am older than Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is a game franchise that I care about. I love. It means the world to me. Final Fantasy 15 with Noctis. That was a fantastic game. Kind of can't go back to it, me personally, because I beat everything, and then the huge 9-hour fight with Edmontois. And then they nerfed it so you can beat him in about an hour. I have an issue with that. But yeah. I've done a lot with Final Fantasy. I have done you know, like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest on the Super Nintendo was amazing, even though it is basically baby handhelding, but it's a fun little quirky game. And then there's Final Fantasy Tactics. I enjoy the Final Fantasy Tactics games. I enjoy all Final Fantasy. Now, a few disclaimers about Final Fantasy XVI and how I play it. I play it on quote-unquote baby mode, which is story-infused, and I don't get a challenge. Many reasons why. I just enjoy the story, and I don't have the mental capacity to be frustrated. I just want to enjoy a game. And I get a lot of enjoyment, you know, playing on easy or baby mode. If you want to have it on super hardcore mode, you know, to each their own. Go for it. If that's something that you enjoy, more power to you. That's not how I enjoy things that I enjoy. Now, Final Fantasy XVI is definitely out there. There is there is a lot of cursing. And for people who would like to know, I don't curse. There is a reason why this podcast is very clean. That's who I am. I don't like cursing. And when people curse around me, I totally do the Captain America language. However, I'm also a realist, and I'm also somebody who is very knowledgeable. When you build a game world and you're pushing a lot of the envelopes, you're pushing a lot of buttons, all of the cursing has its place. Like, it's not there for, shock factor or anything. It has its place, and if it was a different Final Fantasy game, it may be out there, but it's warranted. And I'm glad that Square Enix and the people who made 16 went that way, because it was definitely needed. Very intense story. It kind of went back to its roots a lot. And I'm really enjoying the game. Visually is amazing. Sound design. And characters. 100%. But so there is a lot to take in with this game. And so when you play the demo, you are basically aware that language, cursing, and the level of things happening in the game is very apparent. I knew what I was getting myself into. And, I like it. But, yeah. 100% an amazing game. And when I said that, there's spoilers, I try not to spoil much, especially with, like, the person that I talk to who's also playing the game, and I'm ahead of theirs. I know nothing. They were asking questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Because people should experience it on their own. And so I know nothing. I do like Benedict Harmon. And I can't afford it because I'm broke, and but if there's ever a Benedict Harmon action figure by Kai Arts or whatever it may be, oh, that would be amazing. But so so again, I have not beat Final Fantasy. Now you may be wondering, it's like, didn't the game come out yesterday? Technically, the game came out the 22nd. Which today the 24th. However, I got to play it at 9 p.m. on the 21st. And a big shout out to my good friends to make that possible. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be playing the game. 100%. And I, I even told them that I was going to wait, and that was not an option. So a big shout out to them. I have good people in my life. And so Final Fantasy XVI, fantastic. Which, going from Final Fantasy Distant World, the music of Final Fantasy, and then playing a new Final Fantasy a week later. And the music is amazing. I do like Final Fantasy music. So, a couple things. Final Fantasy XVI combat is amazing. And I'm enjoying it. And I don't know if I'm gonna beat the game tonight. I may wait. Because I need to do a few things. But I don't need to rush it. I'm going to enjoy it. And the story is amazing. And the last thing that I'm going to say on Final Fantasy XVI is, if you have the ability to play it, I recommend it. And some people don't like being spoiled the main person's name or whatnot, but enjoy the game if you have the means and the ability to. Enjoy it if possible. If possible, enjoy it. So that's the Final Fantasy XVI portion of this episode. Now I want to go talking about next week and beyond. Now I don't know what is going to be next week. I honestly don't know. And I'm for people who don't know, I am going to be getting the rest of my teeth removed, uppers, hopefully not the lowers, because the lowers are still somewhat salvageable, but I like communication, and so I have 2 dentist offices, and the people doing the extractions, I've been trying to reach them for 2 months, and the other dentists that I use have been trying to reach them, and miscommunication. Lucky for me, I have an appointment on the 28th, and which is the day before my extractions, and hopefully everything is good and sorted. But it's a lot of uncertainty, I like to know things. I like to be aware and educated Um, and so, just a lot of information that needs to be given. And I don't know what next week's episode's going to be, if there is one. And now you have may notice that season 3 taking a risk and majority of everything that season 3's been was talking about video games. Video games and video game music makes me happy. It's a very passionate thing for me. And I've been going through a lot of stuff recently. And my mental health has been on the rocks. So, trying to do things to better my health. And I did have the episode where I said that I was going to win the Powerball lottery. And, you know, I'm probably going to win it today. That would be amazing. I deserve good things. I deserve good things happening to me, and I wish today I won the jackpot. I am going to win the jackpot lottery tonight. So, thank you for being you. Thank you for listening to me. And I don't know what next week will bring. Or a week after that. It's a journey into the unknown, and that is definitely and a unknown. And hopefully there is an episode next week. I will leave that to future me. Future me can deal with that. Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. My entire mental capacity is worried about the whole dentistry thing, and that's just that just weighs a lot on my soul, and I've been trying to do a few other things, but my entire brain has been dead focused on this. Now, just remember to smile and have don't let anybody tear you down. I like being positive, and good things are coming my way, and good things should be coming your way too. Chase your dreams. Be amazing who you is. And if you have a chance to play Final Fantasy XVI, absolutely do it. If not, that's okay. May whatever you play, or watch, or enjoy, hopefully everything is amazing. And you can find things to make you happy. So that's this week's episode. And may you be safe out there. Again, I don't know what next week's gonna bring. That is the future me. That is the future me, bro. But today's Saturday, and I'm gonna go and enjoy it. Love life. Just tell the people in your life you love them. Tell people you care about them. Tell them that you're thinking about them. It's like, hey, I haven't talked to you for a while. Hopefully you're well. And may good things come your way. Sending you all the luck, all the love, and may today be the best day ever for you. May tomorrow be even better. So on that note, I bid you adieu. And know that you're loved. So this has been another episode of Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill. I am your host, as always, Scott. I bid you all adieu.